Hey Sports Grumblings fans, Damian Schaab back with yet another 2012 Spring Training Injury Update. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Carl Crawford. Yeah, that Carl Crawford. The player that last year was going to redefine the way we thought about left field in Fenway Park. Oh yeah, you remember, this is a guy who from 2003 to 2008 averaged 93 runs, 13 home runs, 70 stolen bases, a .299 batting average, and 50 steals. Oh, those 50 steals. Those were the one thing we could count on from Crawford. One of the speediest players, perhaps in the history of the game. And, well, we can all look back on 2011 and realize that just didn't translate to his fantasy season. Here's a player who last year hit a meager .255 with just 18 steals. Now, those 18 steals are particularly worrisome because that's the one thing that should never leave a speedy player. Speed. Let's be honest. We have higher expectations for Carl Crawford this year. That is, until he re-injured his surgically repaired wrist. Now, the wrist shouldn't in and of itself affect his ability to steal bases, but it is necessarily going to affect his ability to stay on the field. Manager Bobby Valentine has already said publicly that Crawford will probably begin the season on the DL, which means already a reduced number of games for Crawford in 2012. Now, can we say definitively that he's going to miss a month of the season? Or 2 months of the season? Well, let's hope it doesn't get quite that bad. But clearly, he's going to miss some games. Now, whether or not he's able to regain his earlier production, that has yet to be seen. This is a player who was once an across-the-board all-star caliber player. But if he's going to do what he did last year, I just assume let him die in the ditch. This is not a player I want on my roster. Not given the changes in the game we've seen in recent years. Right now, power is the real commodity, not steals. Steals can be had on the cheap. Let's look further down the board where a player like Brett Gardner, who last year stole 49 bases, could steal even more for a potent Yankee lineup this year. Looking even further down the road, you've got a player like Coco Crisp, who in his own right stole 49 bases last year as well. Now, Coco Crisp is in an uncertain outfield situation in Oakland, but Crisp is only going for $3 to $4 in a lot of auctions. Now, that being said, if he only steals 35 bases in 2012, you're still seeing a player who's going to offer a lot of return on investment. And we're going to use that term over and over and over in these broadcasts. Return on investment. If you have to pay full price to get Carl Crawford on your roster, you're going to be, well, not pleasantly surprised. The end result is Carl Crawford's probably not the player he used to be. And until he shows otherwise, this is a guy I'd advise you to steer clear of. Damian Schaab, SportsGrumblings.com.